Okay, so hello everybody. I'm going to just check that we are broadcasting live on Facebook, and we have our Standout Online expert panelists with us today. And if everybody can just check to make sure that your mics are on and not muted. I just want to make sure and just double check here that we are good and that yes, we are live. Perfect. Let me just mark this as an announcement to get this up front. Okay, so I'm going to go back here to the app here. Let me just see. Okay, so that was Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn. Kim,
Hi,
can you hear
Christina.
us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi,
Okay, good.
Christina. It's Kim.
Hi, Kim. Okay, wonderful. Great. We're all here. I'm so excited. This is going to be a fabulous show. And I'm so excited for you guys to be sharing what is working now in your businesses. But before we do that, let's just go around and let's introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your business and what you do. And we'll start with Kathy.
Hi, everybody. Kathy Myron. I'm the CEO of eSilo. We are a data backup and protection company based in Jupiter, Florida. And we help busy business owners like you with all of your IT needs when it comes to how to protect yourself from ransomware or other types of data loss. You know, there's a lot of headlines in the news these days. So a company like ours offers cloud backup solutions that enable you to protect your critical data so that if something like that happens to you, you're able to recover in a breeze.
Fantastic, Kathy. I didn't know you were in Jupiter.
Yes.
I love Jupiter. Yeah, I actually used to live by Delray and Boynton before I moved to Arizona a couple months ago. So it's really nice there, Jupiter. Thank you, Kathy. So we have Amanda. Amanda, tell us about your business and what you do and where you're from.
That enable you to protect your critical data so that if something like that happens to you, you're able to.
I think somebody maybe, is your phone on? Because it's like a delay on Facebook. We'll start that over again. If everyone might want to mute yourself while everybody else is speaking, that might help as well. Amanda, go ahead, start again. Oh, we can't hear you. I'm sorry. Let me check your mic, Amanda, because we don't hear you. Okay, your mic is on. Can you check your volume? You're on your computer, because I don't think you might have muted yourself. You're okay here. Yeah, we still don't hear you. It's probably something in on your laptop or wherever you're broadcasting from. You might have the sound off. Okay, well, I'm going to move over to Christy and then we'll come back. Just take a look down at your computer and see if you can get that fixed. Okay, Christy, tell us about yourself and your business.
Hi. Well, Amanda, you have headsets on, a headset. Maybe it's plugged into the wrong jack too. So, anyways.
Good point.
Yeah, so I'm Christy Rufino. I'm the founder of the Dynamic Professional Women's Network and the Overcoming Mediocrity Book Project, which is a collaborative effort where I help women share their stories in Amazon best-selling books.
Fantastic. Thank you, Christy. Agnes, tell us about yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Agnes Bocardi. I'm a laptop lifestyle architect and online business manager. I help messy business owners to clean up everything and create processes and steps to make sure that we are clear and we beat overwhelm.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Kim, tell us all about yourself. We just have to unmute you, Kim. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes.
Hi, I'm Kim Thompson-Pinder. I'm the Extraordinary Word Ninja and Chief Visionary Officer of RTI Publishing. And what we do is we work with professionals who want to take their business to the next level, who really want to get out there and be the authority in their niche. And we do that through authorship. So when you write your signature book, it changes how people see you, how people view you, and how people want to work with you. And then the next step is then we take you from being an author to being the authority in your niche.
Fantastic. Great. Well, thank you, Kim. Elizabeth?
Hey, Christina, how are you?
Good. How are you? So good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm sorry, I just jumped on and didn't hear the question before when it was asked. So
okay. We're just doing an introduction right now, just letting everyone know who you are and just tell us about your business.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Valdez. I am the social media stylist, and my brand is Style Your Social Media. I have a coaching group where I provide pre-made social media content for women entrepreneurs that are looking for a way to up their game with their social media platforms.
Great. Thank you, Elizabeth. Marilyn?
Hi, everybody. My name is Marilyn Crump. I'm your expert dream catcher. What I do is I help creatives and what I call dreamers, mainly startup entrepreneurs, really get their brand out there and simplify all the complicated processes that they have. I have a process called DREAM, and it stands for Direction, Relinquish, Efficiency, Action, and Momentum. So if you get all those 5 things done, then you're smooth sailing from there.
Great. Thank you, Marilyn. Iris?
Oh, hi, I'm Iris Rojas Davis. I am the tax professional, I guess, of the group. And my passion is teaching women how to punch the IRS in the face and keep more money in your pockets. And, you know, by teaching the difference between tax planning and tax preparation work and, you know, learning a bunch of little ninja tactics that you can use to keep more money in your pockets.
Wonderful. Thank you, Iris. Amanda, can you hear us? No, you just can unmute yourself. Let me see, Amanda, we still don't hear you.
Amanda, you may need to look at, because you have the headphones in, your computer's either looking at your headphone mic or your computer mic, and there's a conflict. So if you just run the Windows troubleshooter for your microphone settings, you should be able to resolve it and tell it which one you want to use.
All right, great. And I see that we have Jennifer. Jennifer's not on camera, but we do have Jennifer here. Can you hear me, Jennifer?
I can. Why am I not on camera?
I don't know. Did you turn your camera on?
It is on, and I just toggled the mute video and put it back on.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Is with your computer. Here it's saying your camera is. So we turn.
Well, what I'll do is I'll introduce myself, and then I'll leave the meeting and come back.
Great. Okay, sounds good. So tell us about yourself, Jennifer.
Well, first of all, it's awesome to hear about all of you. And like Marilyn, I have a 5-phase system. Basically, I have been running a digital marketing agency for about 22 years now. And so I've bumped into almost everything online and offline that can be done with marketing. And over the years, I realized that everything that can be done in marketing can fall into a nice step-by-step process so that people aren't wasting time on one shiny object or not knowing what to do next, right? We get overwhelmed with all the options, and the more that comes out online, it's like, oh, now here's another thing to master. And so I realized actually 6 months ago, which brought me back out of retirement, that I had kind of this sophisticated marketing formula that goes from research to reports and everything in between. And so I am now taking that method and turning it into software. I've been asked to franchise my agency across the nation. Of course, it's going to turn into courses and books and all the things that bring the passive income. So it's exciting times right now. And I love helping people. You know, I wrote a little mini ebook that's going to turn into the big book. And right in the beginning, the dedication said, you know, to business owners everywhere that have sat up at night wondering about the overwhelm, you know, fearing losing their business, this is for you. So
wonderful. Wow. Well, thank you, Jennifer, for sharing. So you're going to log off and she's going to come back. So let's get into it here. I know everyone is, what would you say, Amanda? Amanda, let's see. Oh, she disappeared. Okay. Amanda, just when you, is that Amanda? Okay. Somebody's phone is ringing. Okay. Okay. I don't know where Amanda went, but when she comes back, we'll try to get her back on. Okay. I see Serena. Can you hear us? Okay. Well, we're going to just get started right now, and I'm going to start with Kathy, and we're going to go around and let's talk about right now. You know, we're in the end of July 2019, and everything changes so fast. What right now in this last month, what has been a needle mover, a game changer for you? Let's share with our members here something that's made an impact in your business. So Kathy, what would you say would that be for you?
Sure. And I'm going to tweak the question just a little bit. I'll tell you something that's been a game changer for my customers who are businesses like you. And that's been all of my tips are really focused around technology and how do you better utilize technology to improve productivity or protect yourselves and protect your business. And so the one tip I wanted to make sure that I shared with you guys is to use a password manager. So I can't tell you how many times I talk to a business owner and they're looking up passwords in a book or looking through Post-it notes or finding something on their phone. And I feel like it's a public service announcement to recommend that you guys look at a password manager like LastPass, OnePass. There's plenty of them out there. But the reason is if you read the headlines and you see the news, there's a ton of ransomware attacks and just malicious cyber criminals that are out there targeting small businesses like ours. And the way that they get to you is usually through hacking passwords that people often use the same password for Facebook and Twitter and their email and their business financial systems. And so having strong password controls is a fundamental element of any small business data protection plan. So that would be the one thing that I want to make sure that everybody at least has looked at. And a lot of these tools are free. They have, free tiers where you can get started. As you go up and as you grow and you have more employees, you can get a paid plan, but it's not something that you have to do right away. So just something that I think everybody should do as a little bit of homework after today if you don't already have one.
That's great advice, Kathy. Thank you for that. And that's really true. And I mean, who likes password? I hate the password thing. Change your password and you have a million different ones and you forget them. And so that does make sense to use something like that.
I see Christy showing me.
Christy's got all our passwords. Yeah, it's like a nightmare with the passwords. I have a question for you, Kathy, though. What do you suggest with when you hire on somebody to work in your team that you're not, maybe don't know and that it requires giving them a password? Which tool, is there anything like to get for Facebook, for YouTube, so they don't get your real password? Which tool would work for that?
So a password manager actually does that for you.
Okay.
There's probably two things that you should keep in mind. As you're hiring employees, if you can create them their own account, and provision them access to just the elements that they need. So for example, in Facebook, you can create employees under the ad manager and they can add and manage their own campaigns or maybe your entire campaign, but they don't have access to your whole Facebook account and can post on your page or things like that. So you really want to try to segment out based on the job role and only give people the access that they need. And then in cases where you really can't do that because you have a social media person who's maybe posting truly on your behalf, if you use a password manager, you can then create the password, store it in the manager, and share it with that individual through their LastPass account. And that way they have access to use the password, but they can't see it. So they're just copying and pasting, but it's all masked. They can't see it. So that way, if you use that password for other sites, which I don't recommend, but in case you do, because I know this is, reality and people do it, you don't have to give that to them.
Great advice. Yes, that's really good advice. And another thing too, just on Facebook groups, when don't add everyone as admins, add them as moderators. Okay, because if you put somebody as an admin, that person can take over your account. Okay, literally can take your group. So what I do is the only people who are actual admins are my mother and my daughters. So everyone else is moderators, just because that's just, anybody you 100% trust, your family, you can make them an admin, but anybody else, because ever dispute with a business partner or whatever, you can be in big trouble with that. So just make sure moderators and look at the roles on anything on your page, on your groups, just to protect yourself because, things happen, and then
when somebody takes over as admin, they can then lock you out.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have access to any of your assets or systems.
And what can happen is, and this happened years and years ago to me and two other women, we had a page and one of the women got hacked, her personal account got hacked, and the hacker came in and took over our page. So that can happen as well. So that's another just good reason why you have to be really, really careful. Thank you so much. Great advice, Kathy, on security. We really need that in our group. Everybody really needs to pay attention to that. So I'm going to move over now to Agnes. Agnes, what has been, the big game changer for you lately? What's been going on?
I'm not sure how you guys feel about Facebook pages, but I definitely neglected them in the last couple couple of years, and I just started to get back. And this, all of these Facebook changes are coming up, and then the glitches are showing us they are really working in the background, right? What really made a difference is being online, being on lives on my page and putting content out there regularly. It really does. And even the view count. So before that, it was something like 2%, 3%. So you see that the reach is really, really, really bad. And now I think from 2%, I went only in a couple of weeks, went up to 10%. And I really do hope if I keep continuing, then it goes more up and up. So really be active. Use the features, what they are telling you to use, right? Or the appointments I've just heard yesterday that they are even syncing with your Google Calendar, right? And the events, and use the lives. Start to use the what's that called? The video watch. You know what I mean?
Facebook Watch, yes.
Facebook, yeah, that's the one. So it really does make a difference now, and this is the only source, right, where they can earn money. So they really start to pump you up on the Facebook pages. So yeah, it's definitely. I've seen the numbers grow, and I got excited because I was so disappointed with with my Facebook page. So yeah, content is one thing, but being consistent, as always. I really challenge you to do at least 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and see how the numbers are changing. So yeah, that's my tip for today.
Thank you, Agnes. That is a great point that you brought up, and I hope everybody watching pays attention to this live video. I'll say it over and over again. This is your key to getting, that's what we're right now, to getting viewers and getting new followers on your Facebook page, in your groups. Even overnight, you can go live on LinkedIn. Wherever live video is available, you need to be live because video is king. So great point. Thank you for sharing that, Agnes. Very, very important. That will definitely, if people complain that their Facebook pages are dead, but once you go live, you're going to get more viewers. So very important.
And repurpose the videos, guys. I'm all about repurposing and automation. It's gold. If you do your content creation properly, then you can use it over and over again. And as Facebook Watch want to be as YouTube, right? Then your content will be out there if you are doing it. So yeah, pay attention.
That's another really good point. The repurposing. You can take. I don't know if everybody knows this, but when you go on your page now, you can run videos, pre-recorded videos as premieres. So that's another feature. You can do, of course, watch parties. And, so there's a lot of really great things that you can do with that. And repurposing, taking that video, stripping the audio, make it a podcast, transcribe it, make it an article, turn it into a blog post, put it on LinkedIn, put it everywhere. And so repurposing content, great point. Thank you, Agnes. Wonderful.
Thank you, guys.
I'm going to move over. I'm going across the board here to Iris. Iris, tell us something that's been a real game changer in your business, our tax secrets expert over here. I think you might be muted. I don't hear you. Let me see. Oh, let me get you. I'm trying to unmute you, but you may be muted on your end.
Yes.
There you go. Okay, now we could hear you.
We keep unmuting and muting each other. Okay, so can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there I go. Okay, so for me, it's just been being consistent. I was kind of popping in, popping out, popping in, popping out. So now for me, that I'm a little bit more consistent. I'm trying to go online every day, post something every day, comment every day, communicate with, the people that are reaching out to me every day. And so that's been pretty much for me a game changer. I went back to re-listen to some of the I think it was one of your stuff, Christina, for Facebook Lives. And that was one of the key points that you had mentioned, that you have to be consistent, that, you can't, disappear for 2 weeks and then, think that people are going to remember you. So that's what it's been for me, is just trying to come up with a plan, a daily schedule, and when I want to come on, when I don't, and when to answer questions. Because I got a little bit overwhelmed with all the questions and people asking for stuff, and then you have to respond, and all that takes time. So for me, it was I got to the point where I was like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming, and it's taking too much of my time with. So it was just a matter of just finding a time slot for it, just picking a time to do it, and then move forward with everything else. So if I allot 2 hours for this, then stick to my 2 hours, and then move on to the next, and then the next day would be when I would continue to do it if I couldn't fit it into that 2 hour time frame that I allotted for myself.
Iris, you bring up a really great point about being consistent and also planning in and scheduling the time that it takes. Too many people they'll say, well, it's not working, social media marketing, but they're not really putting in the effort. And they think it's easy and that, you can just drop in here and there. But it does take consistent effort every single day to be successful with online marketing and with getting your business with any marketing. And really today, all marketing is really online marketing. So you really have to be dedicated and allot that time, like you said, to just schedule it into your schedule and no excuses. The whole I'm too busy thing that everybody uses, and we all do. We're like, oh, I'm too busy for that. But you will see results if you put in the work, which it's what you're doing right now. So congratulations on that. And thank you, Iris. Christy, how about you? What's been a big game changer for you? I think you're on mute if you.
Okay, there we go. So I definitely agree with what Iris says as far as consistency, and I have been really consistent in my Facebook group, and you see everybody with these big groups and you think, how can you make that happen? And it doesn't happen overnight, but with consistency, things will continue to grow, and I'm excited about how my group is going. But my tip that I shared as far as my needle mover is really all about a book, and it is Jack Canfield's Success Principles. And somebody recommended that book to me, and I read it, and it really has helped me, because when I started my organization 13 years ago, I did it because I saw a need. I wanted to network. I kind of knew that the chambers weren't working for me. I learned about a leads group, the concept of a leads group, and I created something that I figured would be a better fit for working moms, and it was great. I mean, we've blown up here in the Chicagoland area. And recently, I've seen a need in the online networking, and I've been afraid to take that step and make it happen. And so that book has really helped me. I've created affirmations, and I've got a support system and an accountability partner. And that really has been the catalyst that has pushed me to do what I feel is the next step in my business, which is a premier online community, because there's so much out there. There's just, I feel, a lot of noise. You don't know where to spend our time. And what I'm doing is giving a platform for women to gather in mastermind groups and more kind of an up-level premium experience. So I'm in the process of getting it launched probably in the next week or so. There's been a lot of behind the scenes infrastructure that had to be created, but I'm happy that we're almost there. So
wonderful. Congratulations, Christy. That's fantastic. And so you're taking action, and I think a lesson to learn from this is that, you read the book and you actually took action on it, and that's what made the difference. Right. You did it.
It's all mindset.
Right. It's all the mindset. That's what holds us back. So congratulations on that. And that's great advice and great book, Jack Canfield, The Success Principles. Everybody check that out. Well, thank you, Chrissy. Wonderful. Marilyn, tell us about what your game changer and needle movers have been.
Yeah, so big stuff. I just found out today that my podcast is on iHeartRadio. I had no clue. Someone said, oh, I heard it on there. And I said, what? So I had to look that up. But mainly, I've just been like jumping in and not worrying about being perfect, putting things out there. Just a good tip if anyone wants to start a podcast. Anchor.fm is excellent, and they do a lot of submissions for you. But with iHeartRadio, you have to apply separately for that. So I was pretty excited that that's in there. I just found out. So I'm kind of doing this, and it's been really helpful. And what I've been doing is showing up as big as the people that I follow. Does that make sense? So if you're following like a celebrity coach and all these things, like how often are they showing up in different places and where are they showing up? So I'm really trying to pay attention, and then I say, if compared to them, that's where I want to go. Where am I there? If I've been here all along, I need to shift that up. So I need to like rocket ship to where they're at. And what's been funny is that for the past couple of weeks, people have been adding themselves to my list that I was like, looking at them thinking, oh wow, I want to connect with them, and they're connecting with me. And it's just wow. It just shows that you put yourself out there. Don't worry about being perfect, and don't worry about if everybody's going to like you. If you're going to align with people in the same kind of philosophies, you're going to find each other. And it doesn't matter which level you're at, even if you think that they're up here, maybe they don't see that either. Maybe they're seeing that you're coming up with something genius that they haven't thought of before. And then you're actually all in the same plane when you think about it. So it's pretty exciting. So that's my challenge to everybody. Find the person that you're like, wow, they're doing something awesome. Measure yourself there. Not to say you have to compare yourself. Just say, like, as far as where they're showing up, are you doing the same kind of level of activity?
Wow, I love that. That is really, really great advice. I love that. Find an influencer, somebody who's in your niche, who's, you feel is doing really well, like she said, and see, right, how often they're showing up, and that's the whole thing, out of sight, out of mind. It's going to be the people who are there all the time, over and over again, that you keep seeing, that get your attention, because we'd have such a small attention span in this day and age. So if you think, oh, well, I don't want to, be in front of everybody too often, well, that's going to hurt your business. You really need to put yourself out there, because people are not paying attention to the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th time that they see you. So really great advice. I love that. Thank you, Marilyn. Amanda, I see the little mute button. Can you unmute you? Can we hear you? We still can't hear you. Maybe try taking the earbuds out and unplugging it. Let's see. Still, something's with your computer. Do you want to try calling the number and just calling in by the phone?
Or from your mobile?
Wait, yeah. Do you have your phone, or you either just call? There's a number on the thing. You could just call the number right in. Maybe that'll be easier, so we can hear you. And then you can still be actually on screen this way, and we can hear you at the same time. Okay, so I see Serena. Hello, Serena. I don't see you, but I see your name.
Hello, lovely women. Hello, guys.
Serena. Tell us about yourself, because I don't think we did an introduction, and then tell us about what has been a needle mover, game changer for you recently.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me here. I'm really excited. I wear many hats. I do a lot of different things. I have the Amazing Women Entrepreneurs Network, which is a network of, lots of great content, and we have the Facebook groups, and we have all this stuff. So with some great stuff that we're doing through there. I also have what's called Visibility Maven, is my brand, which I help people to get visible with their business and build standout brands. That's my 12 years in the making of working on that. But yeah, so what's really helped me through my 12 years of business is visibility, in a sense, being omnipresent, being everywhere, being seen, people recognizing my brand. The more you are out there, the more people will remember you, and especially if you have great things to say, and if you have, if you're like a solution to people's problems, to your ideal market's problems. So for instance, I do summits. Like, I'm in the middle of doing a summit now. I've done many summits, but this particular one, through this brand of Amazing Women of Influence, this is the 4th one. I do it annually. And, it's a great way to have a summit, is a great way to be seen as an influencer, to get in front of, a bunch of joint venture partners, right? So you're all joint venturing with all these speakers, and, you're getting in front of each other's audiences. So it's a great way to really build your list fast, which list building is super important and is an asset in your business. So definitely having a summit, hands down, is amazing. But getting on to things like co-authored books, where, everybody's promoting these books, that's another awesome way to really get in front of people. Getting onto other podcasts, having your own podcast, all these different things, just being in front of people a lot, and being, having your own group will, people remember you, basically, and then they follow you, and they want to work with you, and and they refer you and all that stuff. So definitely omnipresence, being everywhere, doing a lot, and just being a solution to people's problems.
Great. Well, thank you, Serena. That's great advice, being omnipresent, similar to what we were just all saying, being like Marilyn was saying, getting out there and getting yourself seen. So that's really, really
That's right.
great advice, and using all the strategies that you can. Well, Amanda, I see the phone to your ear. Can we hear you now on the phone?
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear and
Okay,
see you.
fabulous.
Okay, work around. So, Amanda, tell us about yourself, and then tell us what's been a game changer for you.
Okay, excellent. So I founded Magnetic Media Group, and our focus is helping businesses and entrepreneurs to grow and scale their businesses through automating their lead generation processes. That way they are freed up to focus more on the actual relationship building and conversion of those leads into clients. So our whole business is just primarily focused on automating that front-end process for entrepreneurs. The biggest needle mover for my personal business that I've seen probably within the past month is kind of a twofold thing. So touching a bit on what Agnes had said with repurposing content, I'd already been doing that before, but I went into doing that so much deeper. So, just taking the Facebook Lives and taking those videos, repurposing those not only as, audio files, then having them transcribed, that can be then shifted into a blog post, taking snippets that are then in that blog post, using those as pieces to go on your Facebook post, your Instagram post, your email broadcast to your list. Taking it from what I thought was doing a good job of repurposing, using it in one place, to being able to repurpose it, across the board in all of these different locations, has really streamlined that process of making sure that I have something to say in all of these different locations. And as I was just saying, making sure that you're showing up in all the places and showing up in the way that, the influencers that you're following are showing up. And that certainly helped in my ability to be able to have something to say on all those different locations. Because I know as business owners, sometimes we're like staring at the blank screen going, what am I going to say next? So, being able to take one piece of content and make it into, like 8 different things has been super transformative. And then the second piece of that is then being able to use that in, the lead generation campaigns that I have out there, being able to plug that content into those pieces, just makes it grow exponentially, and that's been huge.
That is really great advice. And I love that, the repurposing. And for anybody watching who may feel a little overwhelmed by that, maybe you're not tech savvy and you're like, oh my gosh, how do I do that? I think a good place to start is, like you said, think about one piece of content a week. Maybe start on Monday. Doesn't even have to be long. You could, film yourself a video of yourself, pre-record it, and just film it for, 5-10 minutes of you talking about something that's going to help people specifically. Then take that and then strip the audio and make it for your podcast. You can upload the video. You can run, I mentioned this before, if you don't want to go actually live, but you can still be live, you can use livereacting.com and run it as a Facebook Live. And then you can take it and you can put it on LinkedIn and turn it into a LinkedIn article, but you can make a checklist of all these things. Put it on medium.com. So, start with write out your piece of content and then make a checklist of all the places you're going to churn that same exact content into. YouTube, all the platforms you want to put it on. Instagram TV, the IGTV now, all those different places. And then check them off as you do that. If you do that habit every week, you're going to see great results like Amanda is. She's consistently doing that, and that's what's helping her. And Agnes and everyone else who's been doing repurposing, is going to help grow your business. So just to give you a little framework of how to do it, I think that's probably the easiest way. Thank you, Amanda. That is wonderful. Now, Elizabeth, I keep seeing you on and off. Are you still with us? Because I see your face and then you disappear.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Text message. Yeah, I'm here. Hi, guys.
Hi, Elizabeth. So tell us, Elizabeth, did you introduce yourself yet? I don't even remember now.
I did, yes.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm getting myself confused. Okay, tell us about what has been your game changer and needle mover.
Well, to really I'm
sorry, hold on 1 second. If you're, I'm trying to mute. Let me just mute everybody here. Okay, Elizabeth, go ahead.
Okay. So I just want to tell you a little bit about why this is such a huge thing for me, because my answer to your question yesterday about the needle mover was self-development, which is kind of like, oh, hum, ha, like everybody says self-development. But for me, 6 months ago, which I still am a stay-at-home mom with my kids, but 6 months ago, I didn't have a business. I didn't have like half of the friends that I have that I've made on social media. I didn't know what my brand was or should be. I didn't even know how to do graphic design on any level whatsoever. And that was back, well, I guess it's been 7 months now, but self-development for me has completely changed my life because I did what Marilyn talked about, which is find an influencer that I identified with. And then I did what, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Grant Cardone, but he talks about how you 10x your life. And so all these self-development tricks that I learned, I 10x'd my effort and energy into becoming as much like the person that I was looking up to because I wanted to completely change my life. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I wasn't happy when I figured out what that number was and who those people were. I was like, is it Les Brown? He says that your income is within like $1,000 to $2,000 of those 5 people. And I'm like, that is a problem here, So I started, becoming friends with people who made more money and looking at what they did and looking up to them as mentors. And I've actually made some of them my friends now. So I'm really excited because my life has changed dramatically within 6 to 7 months just by doing 10x self-development. Self-development has been huge for me.
Wow. Congratulations. That's amazing. In 6 to 7 months. And you really nailed it with you said this. You can know all the skills in the world, but self-development, our biggest enemy is between our ears, right? So
Yep.
What stops us from everything that we're talking about here, about being omnipresent, about, doing all these things, it's the fear that stops us. So to be able to conquer that, and if you're not familiar with Grant Cardone, I've actually read his books and I've seen him. For some women, he may be way too much. He's real manly and he's kind of crude, I would say. So take it with a grain of salt if you watch any of his videos. He's like a real, some of the things he says is like, oh my gosh,
Listen to the message, not the way that it's given.
Right.
Yeah.
He does have great advice, though. I mean, his advice about 10xing and, and really, if you need that push, he is really the guy for that to really, kick you in the butt and be like, all right, get out there and do it. So looking to other people who you relate with, see who you, and don't stick with, I think one thing I've always done is don't stick with one person, but there's so many great people out there that you can learn from, like Tony Robbins, and, there's just so many of them. You don't have to always just be one guru person. You can learn from so many different styles. There's a lot of women out there like Rachel Hollis and Gabrielle Bernstein, and and then there's the men too, and you could just take those nuggets from their fear, and whatever will resonate with you at that particular time will be what you need. So,
and not just the listening, but you have to implement it because you can hear it, but if you never put it into action, then it bears no fruit whatsoever. And that's where the 10x comes in. You can 10x listen, but if you don't 10x do, then it's all for nothing.
You couldn't have said that better. That is absolutely true. Everybody out there who is watching this right now, what Elizabeth just said, you can sit by your computer and spend, 40 hours a week on learning things. And if you don't take any action, it's not going to do anything. It's just like sitting on your couch, like the law of attraction, and dreaming about what you want, but never actually doing anything. You need both. You need the dreaming and the doing. So you need the learning, and then you have to take the action, and no excuses. No excuses. I keep hearing, I'm too busy, I'm too busy, I'm too busy. No, you're not too busy. But I hear that all the time. I just don't have the time. You don't have the time because you're not making the time. Okay? So that's what Grant Cardone would say, right? Get out there and do it. I love that. Crucial advice from Elizabeth. Thank you so much. So now I'm going to move over to Jennifer. Jennifer, tell us about what has been the needle mover for you and what's been happening lately with your business.
Okay, so can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Oh, yay. Well, before I get right into the needle mover, I would love to say, since I am now becoming a client of my agency, I would love to see us talk about on another live or anywhere actually, that omnipresent repurposing process from video to this, to this, to this, right down the assembly line. I think that would be awesome because I'm having to freshen up all my assets and redo it all over again. And so I would love that. But there's been two needle movers. The first one is that because I've been asked to franchise my agency with some colleagues, and I had to hire a national sales manager, and he's on the West Coast. And I told him I've never been in sales because my process that I've done over the past 20 years is it's always brought in free organic leads, and so I don't like sales. To be honest, it scares the crap out of me. And picking up the phone to cold call or to go knock on a business's door, I mean, I would rather do anything else but that. And he said, but I want you to really intimately know the objections that you could get from potential clients. So go out into your local community, which is Jacksonville, Florida. And, I've been here 7 years and I've been hiding in the house. And so I'm like, okay, let's do this. And I literally, started doing some of the stuff we would normally do, like give them a complimentary audit or health exam or assessment or whatever you want to call it, and printing them out and bringing them in. And coincidentally enough, a friend of mine owns 9 Jersey Mike's here in Jacksonville, and he said, oh, by the way, every Jersey Mike's in the country and Chick-fil-A's and other places, other franchise, let you pick up like 10 to 15 free lunches per week to bring to local businesses that are near their store. So now I can kick the doors down with some food in hand and not be so scared. But getting out there into my local area, literally going in cold and seeing the objections, and getting a couple daggers, that's been really eye-opening to bring back to my online marketing. So that was needle number 1. And then I just want to share something because, Christina, I've been wanting, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's something pretty cool that you can do with a Facebook video ad, and I think you would flourish with it. Not that you're not, I mean, you're doing so amazing, but this is a cool little trick. It came from Frank Kern's camp, but you can make a Facebook video ad. You can set it to start, say, in 3 days, right? It's basically a long time away. As soon as it gets approved, you can shut the ad off, but you still have a video URL. That's what I call ghosted, and you can go place it in your own group. Like, I know how you do those awesome, like, 4-second, 6-second videos. You can do that same thing with a Facebook video ad, and then you can retarget your video views based on your own group members' interaction with that video. So that was a neat hack that we started implementing in-house, and I just wanted to share that with everybody.
Oh, wow, that's really cool. So basically, you start, and I love Frank Kern, by the way. I did Mass Control back in 2006, a big fan of his. If you don't know who he is, the best, hands down, for copy. If you want to learn how to do copywriting, and he's just excellent.
Yeah, and he's not flashy and like cheesy and douchey, and he's just easy to watch.
Yes, excellent. Another person to put on your list to study from. But yeah, so basically, so you would run an ad from your Facebook page, just to break this down. You do a video ad, and you set it to start in 3 days.
Yep.
And then once it gets approved to start, how you immediately shut it off?
You shut it off. So, for example, if you, like, what is it right now? It's like almost 3 o'clock. On Thursday. So if we ran a Facebook ad today and we said started on Monday and it gets approved tonight or tomorrow morning, how it takes different times for an ad to be approved. As soon as you get that notification, your Facebook ad has been approved, it hasn't hit the start date yet for Monday. So you can actually go back in and turn it off. But then you have the video URL, the ad URL that you can post inside your group. And I know, Christina, you probably have a social media scheduler software that can go out into all your state groups and your country groups. You could literally drop this into every one of them and retarget them.
Wow, that is really, really powerful. I'm going to definitely look into it. I love that. I haven't heard of that. That is a new trick. I
keep checking your videos. I'm like, it's not on her page. It's from her profile. It's not on her page. I bet she doesn't know this. I can't wait to tell her.
Yeah, no, well, actually, I don't actually post much on my personal profile. I have a page that is my name.
Right, your name, yes.
So that looks like it's my profile, but it's my page. There's another trick if you guys
okay.
want to make I have a Christina Rowe page, but it looks like, yeah, so you can do that to have two. So, but you can't have two actual personal profiles. But that is a really, really great trick. The one thing I just want to tell everybody, because you brought up a good point, and this just came up. I had an issue back last month I use Buffer, okay, with some things being flagged that were as against community standards that were not. And I know Marilyn had this issue too. And I have people I know at Facebook, and somebody looked into it for me, and what came back is that, and it's so crazy that this happened, but sharing in too many groups can get you flagged. And because Facebook has this algorithm that, like, if you're a normal user, you should be doing this much activity. Somebody like me who's got all these groups, like I am being abnormally using, with Facebook. So through a third party, Hootsuite or Buffer or any scheduler, if you schedule into two, and I was scheduling into a bunch of the local groups at the same time, and that was becoming a problem. So now I'm only scheduling to one, which is a really pain in the neck, and then you have to do it manually until this, they fix this issue or whatever they're doing, because it really doesn't make any sense, because they actually integrate in the back end of groups apps for Buffer and Hootsuite. So they're telling you use it, and then they're penalizing you for using it almost. Or they'll say to you on a Facebook page, this happened too, you're running a live, and then that button comes on the bottom, share to groups, and you start hitting it, boom, you're going to go to Facebook jail. Even though they just baited you.
You're speaking with VaynerMedia soon, so can't you get a special hookup?
But no, this is just, what it is?
Vayner, I'm sorry, Zuckerberg Media.
you know what it is? I've actually spoke to people on Facebook about this, and Facebook's a huge company with many different departments, and it's run a lot by the bots. The bots are doing this, and it's not the humans. So then it has to be humanly reviewed. So that's the problem. I just want everybody to be aware of that. If you share too fast, too often. Marilyn had an issue with her Facebook Live where she didn't do anything wrong, and it got flagged for community standards. So it's a crazy thing right now. Ever since the end of May, I guess they were relying more heavily on the bots or something. The bots are out to get us, so be really careful of just to give everybody a little warning there. But that's a good point, so share one and then maybe wait and then share another group. Don't do it all at once, or use a scheduler to 10 different groups at once, because that could put you, we know a lot of people who are stuck in Facebook jail, so we don't want to be there, right? We want to be really careful. But great tip, and I like what you were what you said also with your first needle mover as well. That was a really, really great advice for everyone to take. So what I want to do now is I want to actually go over some tips of actual tools and resources. But I want to make sure, I know we had Kim here. Kim, are you still here? I think we lost Kim. Let me just check.
Yes, I am. I'm still here.
Oh, there you are, Kim. Okay, great. Kim, tell us what your needle mover has been. I thought we lost you. We didn't see you on camera.
So this weekend, I had an incredible honor of actually being able to speak and share the stage with Michael Tracy, which is Brian Tracy's son. And we did an expert panel, and one of the questions that came out just really incredibly made me think. And the question was, how do you position yourself, as that authority? How do you position yourself as the go-to person when nobody knows who you are? And so one of the things that, Michael talked about was how you see yourself. And then I was able to add to that. So when you're a new entrepreneur, when nobody knows your name and you're trying to get out there, it's hard because you're trying to build social media, you're trying to do online, you're trying to do all these things. But the simplest thing that I have found in terms of your positioning is actually to get out in your local market first. So I love that advice on getting out into your local market. But when you go out into that local market, when you're talking to people, and this is where I specialize in, is you want to present yourself as that expert. And it starts up here. You have to see yourself as an expert first before anybody else does. If you don't see yourself as that person, that go-to person with value, with something that you have to share, Every single woman in this group has something. Maybe it's not the hugest thing, but everybody has something that they specialize in that will contribute value, will change a person's life. And so when you go out into that public arena, carry yourself with pride. Keep your shoulders back, stand up straight, smile, be confident in who you are. When you introduce yourself, don't say, well, I'm Kim, and I kind of work with people and I really like words. No, you get up and you say, hi, I'm Kim. I'm the extraordinary word ninja, and I love helping professionals to write and publish their books. So, words are powerful. When you're making your introduction, so this is the main point, make your introduction incredibly strong. Memorize it. Use powerful words. So for an example, we use the word important a lot. Instead of using the word important, go to thesaurus.com and look up other words. Essential. Look up words that have more meaning than what you're trying to say. When you feel like you don't know what to say, don't insert the ims, ahs, and so's. It's okay to actually pause for that one moment to let your mouth catch up with your brain. And it makes you look more professional as opposed to going, I'm not really sure. Just pause. Take that moment, think about what it is that you want to say it with confidence, and recognize that not everybody is going to be your client or customer. But when you're out in the public and you're out in that local arena, look for those people that you can connect with who will help you start your business, that will help you grow your business, will become your brand ambassadors, that will help you bring in other business.
Fantastic advice, Kim. And I'm going to combine what you said with something Jennifer said, because you said about positioning yourself as the expert. And she had mentioned also about going out in your local communities. So I think what a great thing to do, and it's one of the ways I got started years ago too, was to host events, okay? To go out there, and have little meetups, so whatever subject it may be on, maybe it's a little networking meetup, or maybe if you're an author, you're going to have other fellow authors, but you're going to be the expert and you're going to position yourself as a person running that, and it's going to get you out of your shell. And when you're able to be the host of something and have people come to you, it's a lot more powerful than you going to a luncheon or a networking meeting. And so everybody should be starting thinking about, where do you live, your local community. If you're not comfortable going like Jennifer's to go into businesses cold, you can, go to a coffee shop, go on Meetup, plan a little meetup for whatever niche that you're in. Kathy, you could do women in tech, or, whatever types of things that you want to do. And even if you have 5 people show up or 3 people show up, it is going to help you tremendously. I had first started doing this back when I wrote my book on divorce back in New Jersey. I did a meetup. And I had like 3 or 4 women come, and we just talked about divorce, and then people want to buy my book, So it's a great way to just get started, and it'll start getting you out of your shell for breaking into events, and events are fun. A lot of people are intimidated by them, but they're a lot of fun, and they do position you as the expert. So everybody who's watching, think about this. Like Christy said, hosting your events is the best way to build your audience. There's nothing like the in-person factor of really getting to know people. Like I'm able to meet a lot of you from the South Florida business luncheons, helping women luncheons that we did in South Florida. And it's just once you have that connection, it's just really amazing to see people online come offline, and you get to meet them in person. So great advice, Kim, positioning yourself as the expert and taking your time and not feeling rushed. And taking a pause. I love that. So I think we have everybody. What I want to do now is go around, because we have a couple minutes left. Everybody share a tool, a resource, just one tool or resource that you've discovered recently that you're just dying to share with everybody. So we'll start with Kathy.
So this isn't necessarily one that I've discovered, but back to helping small businesses. I'd love it if you guys went to esilo.com/IT checkup. And it's a simple questionnaire, and it'll help you position yourself to understand where are you leaving yourself unprotected, or where do you have some flaws or shortcomings in the way that you think about your IT strategy. And then we'll be able to give you some concrete recommendations on how you can improve that. So that would be one that I would suggest everybody go and do, which is a very simple health check.
Great. So you'll put that link in the comments as well, so everybody can click on it. Fantastic, Kathy. Thank you. Agnes, how about you? What has been something you would like to share with us?
It's one of the first steps of the repurposing. I'm not sure if you guys know rev.com and Temi.com, or Temi, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, TEMI.com. One of them, there are people sitting and transcribing your audios or videos, and by the other one is an AI. One is $1 a minute, and the other one is 10 cents a minute. With my accent, it's not really working out, so I need the people who are listening. But those are the first steps what I use for myself and for my clients to get the audio to a blog post or to get transcribed, or for podcast. Marilyn, I'm sure you are using something similar as well. So yeah, make sure that you sign up, you check out, and let's get repurposing, guys.
Excellent. So this is great for transcripts. Rev.com, and that's actual humans. And there's Temi, which is TEMI.com. I'm also going to add to that list Otter.ai, and that's free. Otter like an otter, OTTER. That you're going to have to fix up a little bit yourself. For Rev, you're going to get something you're paying for that's going to be, ready to go. So excellent. Transcribing, very important for repurposing. Amanda, how about you? What is a tool or resource you'd like to share with us?
I think the biggest one for me is going to be paid advertising. There is a little bit, obviously when you're getting into paid advertising for the first time, like tweaks and things that'll need to be done to your ads to ensure that you're getting a positive ROI for what you're spending. But once you hit that sweet spot and you know that, what you spend, you're getting X increment amount back, it's just a matter of funneling as much as you can into the front end in order to get a higher return on the back end. So, that's the biggest thing that I absolutely swear by, is just making sure that your ROI on your ad spend is in the positive, and once it is, just creating a loop that X amount that's coming out of the back goes right back in the front end, so that you can get an a massive increase to your business.
And are you using Facebook ads or Google ads, or what are you using specifically?
Primarily Facebook ads.
Okay, so you're having great success with Facebook ads. Okay, wonderful. Yeah. And do you have somebody doing these for you, or you're doing them yourself?
I do it myself.
Oh, all right, great. And you're having success with it, because a lot of, Facebook ads can be tricky. So, as everyone knows, right? But that is wonderful.
Oh, yeah, I've been at Facebook for a couple of years. So, obviously there's some tweaking on the front end when you're first launching campaigns, but kind of once you get the hang of it, and obviously you're tracking your analytics and your sales on the back end, that can really be a tremendous game changer, because you just have the ability to get in front of so many more eyeballs, and really in front of your targeted ideal prospects.
Great. All right. Wonderful. Thank you, Amanda. That's fantastic. Marilyn, how about you? What would be something you'd like to share with us, a tool or resource?
Oh, absolutely. InShot app, which is INSHOT. It's all on my phone. So if you're a busy mom of 5 like me and you want to be out there and be bold, you need an awesome tool, and it's great to hide in your closet and film podcasts. Your app. So, but if you check out my YouTube, you'll see like what I've been doing. What I'm doing with the phone is I'm recording with the phone, and then in InShot, I'm adding all my logos and branding and things like that. And then I'm able to even put clips together if I need to, but then I export that and then rip out the MP3 file, and that's how I've been doing the podcast, because I've also talked to people who said, well, I don't listen to podcasts, but I love YouTube. So what I did was I have a taped version of the podcast, and then that way people who don't listen to it, they can still access it and hear all the good stuff. And then I can repurpose it and add it into the Facebook. And if you set a page up, like a YouTube page on Facebook, there is a way for you to choose what kind of template that you want on the page. And if it's more of a video template, it actually looks more interactive as far as the videos. It almost looks like a TV channel. So check out that. I'll post my link so you can look at how I'm setting things up there. So I'm really trying to see like how I can streamline my process, do everything like without even getting on the computer if possible. And it saves me a lot of time. And so InShot app, I think it's like $9 for the year. It is crazy. It's awesome. So check it
Ooh.
out.
I'm excited to check that out. So let me ask you, you just said about setting up a page, a YouTube page. What did you mean on that? A page on Facebook, or because there's no
Yeah,
pages on YouTube?
Facebook has now for your pages, you can choose different types of templates. And if you
Oh, got it. Yes,
if you say
templates.
exactly. If you say your page is more of a video channel page, then it's going to give you a whole different look and feel than
Ah.
regular pages. And it's very similar to kind of what you're seeing in YouTube. So it's pretty exciting. I can see
Ooh.
where they're really trying to compete head to head with that.
I love that. So, okay, so so anybody watching who may not understand that, what you do is you create a new business page. I know some people still get pages and profiles mixed up, your page, business page, but you choose, Facebook gives you templates, different templates to set up your page as. It could be store, it could be, services. You choose the YouTube, the video, we'll say YouTube or video. And that's what Marilyn is talking about. The other thing she said was the InShot app, which is super exciting. And you brought up a really great point about the podcasting. Now, I do this too. I subscribe to the YouTube Premium, so I don't have the ads. I listen to so many just audios that are on YouTube. And how they do that is they'll just put like an image, and then you just hear the audio going. So you're saying you could do that also in the InShot app?
Well, what I'm doing is I'm filming it so that it looks like you're looking at me through a recording booth. So I'm not looking at the camera, and I have kind of an overlay so that you can tell that this is just made for you to look at. To only listen to. But if you needed to look at me, I'm blah 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 talking to the wall. So, so it gives somebody something visually interesting to see. Now, I do see that some people put like a graphic and then have a sound wave.
Yeah,
so
how
that
do they
you know
get that? Do you know that? Because
Um,
I've been looking into how to put that sound wave on there. If you guys have seen that, that is pretty
Headliner.
cool.
I
Headliner.
use that,
Oh,
yeah,
I know
Headliner.
Headliner
Yep.
too. They do that at Headliner. Gosh, I've done videos on Headliner. I didn't know they had that. Oh, cool. Okay,
And
I
they
love
also
that.
have a transcription. I'm not sure if they own Otter or if that's something else, but I think Headliner has a transcription too when you do the video editor.
Ooh. Oh, excellent. Okay, so Headliner and InShot. Okay, check those out, guys. We got some stealth stuff going on here, marketing strategies. So wonderful. Serena, tell us some resources or tools that you want to share.
Oh wow, I have a lot of them, but one of the ones that I would say is a great way to really propel your business is to utilize you doing like surveys and surveying people, giving gifts. Like gifts, the more gifts you give people, the better, right? So giving gifts and really doing surveying people, and giving the gift as a thank you, to understand what people want and what people like. Like, for instance, if you have a product that you're going to be launching and you want to ask questions about and you want to understand what people are really needing now, like especially your Facebook group, right? The more you find out from them what they want, the better chance you're going to have for sales of products, programs, events, etc. So definitely utilizing surveys, and you can use that with Google Forms. You could do surveys through the forms, or I like using SurveyMonkey because I like the way it calculates everything for you. Or even Gravity Forms on your computer. If you use WordPress, Gravity Forms is great too. You can get the survey feature.
Great advice. And just a little heads up, if you're doing that in the group, like especially our group, because we don't allow outside links, you can actually just use Facebook's actual little tool. We allow that where you have the little, your own little survey,
the poll.
Facebook. The poll, exactly.
Yeah.
So polls are good as well. But when
I do that a lot.
Excellent. Great advice. Thank you, Serena. Christy, how about you? What is a tool or resource you'd like to share?
Well, I want to actually say that this is my favorite part of this, of these classes that you do, because I learned so much from all of the other experts here. I've learned so much from all of the classes you've done, so this is awesome.
Oh, yeah, this has been great.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know one of the key pieces of my business is a membership site, and being able to manage my members and there's so many options out there. So I want to actually share what I use because I found it to be really, really helpful. I've in the past actually had a custom built membership site, and I just recently switched over because I find that this is a really, really great resource. It's called Membership Works. And I love it because it gives you the ability to manage the different levels of membership and give them all different access to different content and different functionality. And it has a lot of room for expansion, and it plugs right into my WordPress site, and it's fairly reasonable compared to some of the other ones out there. So I thought that was a really great resource to share.
Oh, wonderful. I haven't heard of this. Membership Works. Would it be, can you put the link in the comments for everyone?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yep.
Membership Works. Okay, fantastic resource. Okay, Iris, how about you? I think you're muted again.
There we go. Well, I would like to just share that there's, what are we in July? So we only have a few more months for, tax season to start again. So there's a lot of changes that are going to take effect for the 2019 year. And there's so many strategies that you can take, that you can implement right now to literally put some money in your pocket instead of you writing that check to the IRS. And unless you have that conversation with your accountant or have somebody on your team that you can ask questions to or that knows these strategies, I mean, I get frustrated with the amount of money that people pay that they do not have to pay. And it's just really simple things that you have to do or just mention it to, the person that does your taxes that's on your team so that you can keep that money. Because if you can just imagine what you can do with an extra 15 grand that you don't have to, assuming you're profitable, that you're already making a profit. And that instead of writing that check to the IRS come April, that you can use it now in your business and invest it in either your mindset or something that you want to implement, or some of these strategies that I'm learning a lot. I'm taking a lot of notes on some of these things that that we can all use and things that you don't think about, and then when you want to do it, your cash flow is not correct. But if you can find if you find the time to just do a little bit of tax planning. I know it's hard to think about taxes, because we're so busy making money, but it's not about what we make, it's about what we keep. So if you can just take that time to just have that conversation and see if there's things that you can do that you didn't do last year, and you can find that extra that extra cash, there's a lot that you can do with that. So that's
Yes.
My tip. I have a checklist that I was going to refer you to, but what I'm finding with the checklist, that a lot of the women don't know how to answer those questions and they get intimidated by it. So that's why I just said just talk or just have a conversation about tax planning and just know the difference between the two, because there's a lot of strategies out there that, like I said, you can implement right now and literally put about $15,000 in your pocket, because that's the amount that we normally find with entrepreneurs, that they're overpaying in their taxes.
Well, thank you, Iris. That's fantastic. Yeah. So everybody, definitely, have a conversation with Iris or your tax professional, because that's one thing we do neglect as entrepreneurs. So everybody who's watching right now, put that on your to-do list before the year is out. You don't want to give the government money you don't have to. You want to be able to keep that money for yourself. So very, very good point. Kim, tell us a tool or resource that you'd recommend for us.
So 2 things. First of all, as a professional, you want to increase your vocabulary and the words that you use. One of the terms we use is you want to learn, you use delicious words that draw people in. So what I suggest is go to websites like dictionary.com or the Merriam-Webster dictionary and sign up for the word of the day. Now, some of the words you will never use in your lifetime, they're just interesting. But a lot of the words that you get are powerful words that you can use, that you can incorporate into your language. So dictionary.com, thesaurus.com, If you're writing anything, check it over. Do find. If you're using certain words over and over and over again, it makes the writing weak. So that word that you're using all the time, go to thesaurus.com, look up alternate versions of that word, and then intersperse the different versions of the word throughout. That makes your writing more powerful. Now, when it comes to your speaking, a really great organization that is known worldwide, and I'm actually the president of my local club, is Toastmasters. So if you're really hesitant about speaking, you want to get out there, but you don't know how to present yourself, you don't know what to say, you're uncomfortable speaking in front of people, Toastmasters is an amazing organization for less than $200 a year on average that you can join. You not only get amazing teaching, but you get incredible feedback. And we work with people from people who can't even get up and say hello to a group to professional speakers like myself. I get great opportunities to get feedback on all of my presentations before I ever make them to the public through Toastmasters. And the feedback I get improves my speech before I even get to give it. So those would be, 3 recommendations: dictionary.com, thesaurus.com, and join your local Toastmasters group.
Great advice, Kim. Yes, excellent about the word of the day. And also Toastmasters. I joined Toastmasters back in 2006. I was a member for a while, and that will definitely get you over your fear of speaking in front of people. And they get you on your ums and ahs, and I still do that ums and ahs, but they're sticklers for that. You get those little notes. But go to your Toastmasters. Very, very good advice. So Jennifer, how about you? Jennifer, share with us a really great tool and resource.
Okay, I actually made a note on it. I gotta jump. I'm actually hosting a seminar tonight in town, so I gotta go do that thing. Something that my team came across, my Facebook ads manager found it, is called High Level, and it's at gohighlevel.com. For those of you that have clients, and if you've heard of Dan Henry's software, which is called Lead Owl, it's very similar to Lead Owl. These softwares were created because agencies like ours, we generate leads, and then, there'll be 1 out of 10 customers that can't handle the leads. They can't, their sales process is broken, their salespeople stink, whatever it is. And once in a blue moon, that customer will come back to you and say, oh, you didn't send us any leads, and you can call BS on them because it's all tracked. And these softwares are an extension of that sales process, and you can connect it to your agency. You can use it for yourself, but what this particular one does that kind of wowed me was you can, so let's say you have something online and somebody grabs it. So let's just say a lead magnet, or they book an appointment online, right? And then in the case of a chiropractor, what if he tells me that 30% of his appointments don't actually show up? Well, this software that connects to the lead gen process will, as soon as someone has done the thing, will send them a text message on their phone. Hey, thanks for scheduling an appointment. Can't wait to see you. It will drop a ringless voicemail, hey, looking forward to meeting you. So they're getting the voice too. It'll send them an email. It'll do all these automatic follow-up things that salespeople are usually responsible for. So it's just another automation tool in our toolbox. And I think that was it. Oh my God, I gotta put my glasses on. I can't see very well. That's great about the Merriam, the dictionary. That's a good point. I've already got it bookmarked. And woot to Christina, New Jersey. That's where I left 7 years ago, and I think that was it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I left, gosh, it's been over 12 years ago. I went from New Jersey to Florida, now to Arizona. So did I get everybody? Elizabeth, did we get you? I don't see you. You disappeared again. Are you still here? I think we lost Elizabeth.
Yeah, she said she had to leave.
Oh, okay. This has been absolutely amazing. I love all these tools and resources, and I just want to leave you guys with one other thing, just to let you, one other little tip resource here, is don't rely on one social network, okay? You want to spread yourself out, especially with your groups. Facebook groups, phenomenal. I love Facebook. I got a million of them. They're great. But we recently went over on LinkedIn now. We have a LinkedIn group that's growing. It's a little different. It's a different conversation and a different audience. A lot of the same members, but it's different conversations. So you can see the link for that in the announcements if you're over on LinkedIn. So duplicate yourself. We're also, just a big announcement that we're in the works of doing is we're not moving. We're actually adding a Mighty Networks, Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs. And the reason we're doing this is because in our main group with 225,000 members, we have the classes like these. We have our Standout Online Experts, amazing classes and contents and Facebook Lives, but they kind of get lost in that units learning area that Facebook has. So we're moving all that over to Mighty Networks. So it's so easy for you guys to get that free stuff. It's right there. And of course, our main group is not going away. It'll still be here, but we'll also be able to, if you want to watch classes and have more of a membership portal for the group, and also a support area. This way there'll be support. People are always like not knowing, trying to PM admins, and it doesn't work out. So we need that support area for members as well. So I'm really excited for that too. So I would say, if you want to think about, going on other networks as well, you don't have to just be limited to Facebook. Start a LinkedIn group, look to see what other places there are on social media. Reddit has groups. I haven't even checked into that. There's a lot of places that you don't even know about because you just see the big ones. And there's a lot of niche places that you can be spending some time and getting audiences of. So I want to leave you guys with that. This has been fantastic. I love this. Let's do this again every month because I think this is so important. It's fresh, new ideas and resources, and our businesses are evolving. I think everybody's going to really get so much from this. So I want to thank you all for being here today. Thank you so much. And everybody will be here next month, right?
Christina, can you say something about the masterminds that you have coming up? Do you think that would be good? And that all of the audience, it's a good incentive for them to be a part of the Standout Online community because I see a couple people asked about that.
Oh, sure, yes. Well, what we're doing, we have with the Standout Online membership program, and everybody you see here right now are Standout Online experts. So they are part of the membership program. And that is, I put the link in it. It's at standoutonlinesystem.com/get featured. Now, one of the benefits we were doing just a monthly mastermind, virtual mastermind, but now thanks to some of the members who've stepped up like Christy, we are going to have every week we're going to have live virtual masterminds. And this way you get to mastermind, and it's a traditional mastermind format, meaning that you share your business challenges with each other. Everybody goes in deep in brainstorming and masterminding and solving those issues, and then you set your goals, for the upcoming week. We do for the month, but we'll be able to really keep each other accountable with this weekly virtual masterminding. So in order to participate, you do have to be a member. So I do have the link. I replied to somebody. I'll put it again in the comments. And this is just, you'll be with these women right here, really high level, fantastic experts that you will be able to, get to know one-on-one and participate with. And I hope all you experts here will join the masterminds, okay? We have a schedule. Facebook's been a little tricky with the times. Everything's set for Eastern. Like, are we daylight or standard? I'm so confused. But now, ever since I moved to Arizona, I don't know what time, because it changes. I'm on Pacific, I'm on a mountain, I don't know where I am. So I'm just sticking to Eastern. So just whatever time you see, it's for Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to be doing that in August every single week. So super excited. And if you guys want to join on as co-hosts to help out the other members, if you want to do that, definitely. Let me know, but we're really excited for that, and we hope to see you starting the first Tuesday in August. So anybody out there watching this, join us, the membership program. You get to know these women, plus be featured and get to go live, and you get to be an expert here on our next show. So we will be doing that, and I'll announce the date soon for next month. And we'll have this format again. And again, thank you guys. I know we've gone, almost an hour and a half. So thank you so much for being here and taking the time out to help everybody and sharing your success and all your tools and resources. I can't wait to start looking some of these up here. I got them written down on my little pad here. So thank you. Great seeing you all. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Christina.
Thanks, Christina.
Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Exit music.
Bye.